Hey, what's going on with people, man? We got to talk. Sit here and let's talk a little bit about this girl. Let's see what happened to her. Let's see what happened, man, real quick.
Story time about how I got shot.
My eye and my allergies.
So I was
like
talking
it's
to
just
this boy.
bothering
We
me
was
right
talking
now.
for like a couple months or whatever. So he used to always be in my car, like ride around in my car. We used to always be together, riding around, stuff like that. Where they put me in the ambulance truck, they was putting me where they put me on the bed, put me in the ambulance truck, da da da. So I'm just asking them the whole time, like, am I gonna die? Am I gonna be okay? Please just tell me, am I gonna die? I was like, am I gonna be okay? So like,
School! School tower!
Also new now at 5, Birmingham police asking for your help to find whoever shot and killed this young woman, Mia Nixon, back in January. Investigators say her family is hurting and pushing for justice in her case.
How does a promising young woman with everything to live for end up shot to death in her own driveway? Who was Mia Nixon, and what happened in those final moments of her life? Could the answers be closer than anyone realizes, or is the truth buried in silence? Was she a victim of her own action, or should we say karma caught up with her? Make sure to watch till the end to find out, because this one will interest you a lot. In the early hours of January 10th, 2024, a young and beautiful girl who was 21-year-old, her name was Mia Nixon, was discovered unresponsive outside her home on Greencrest Turn in Birmingham, Alabama. The place she should have felt safest became the site of an unimaginable tragedy. Mia's dreams of building a future in the beauty industry were cut short in an act of violence. Was Mia targeted, or was this a random act of violence? Was someone inside the house that night holding on to a crucial piece of information? Today, we uncover the events that shattered a quiet neighborhood and ask, what will it take to finally get justice for Mia Nixon? There are lots of twists and turns in this murder case, which I will reveal at some point in this video.
Come on.
That calm was shattered. Police responded to a 911 call reporting gunfire outside a home on Greencrest Turn. When they arrived, they found 21-year-old Mia Nixon lying unresponsive in her driveway, just steps from her front door. She had been shot. Mia was rushed to the hospital, but her injuries were too severe. She was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The rising star of Birmingham's beauty scene was gone. What do police know so far? Investigators determined Mia was outside her home when the fatal shot was fired. But the shooter? They fled the scene, leaving behind no weapon, no fingerprints, no immediate clues to their identity. Inside the house, family members were unharmed. But why didn't they hear anything? Why wasn't Mia inside with them? These questions remain unanswered. Detectives canvassed the area, speaking to neighbors who recalled hearing a single gunshot, but saw no one fleeing. Surveillance cameras on nearby homes captured nothing useful. It's as if the killer vanished into thin air. What's even more puzzling, Mia wasn't known to have enemies. Her social media painted a picture of a young woman full of ambition, loved by many. So why would someone target her? But there was a shocking discovery and theory I will share with you shortly. Here's where it gets even stranger. Witnesses inside the house claimed they didn't hear the gunshot at all. How is that possible? Was it a silenced weapon, or is someone withholding the truth? This case is riddled with questions and almost no answers. Who pulled the trigger? Why was Mia outside that late? And what secrets, if any, were hidden behind her demise? Mia Nixon was just 21 years old, but she carried herself with the determination and charisma of someone destined for greatness. Born and raised in Birmingham, she grew up in a tight-knit family that supported her dreams at every step. Described as ambitious and full of life, Mia was the kind of person who left a lasting impression on everyone she met. Her talent in the beauty industry was undeniable. Specializing in hair and nails, Mia had built a reputation. Was undeniable. Specializing in hair and nails, Mia had built a reputation for her precision and creativity. Clients praised her ability to transform their looks and make them feel confident. Her work was more than a job, it was a reflection of her passion and drive. Mia's goal was to one day open her own salon, a space where she could combine her skills with her entrepreneurial spirit. For those who knew her personally, Mia was much more than her work. Friends often spoke of her infectious laugh and the way she always made others feel seen and valued.
That's what's
One
up.
friend recalled, Mia had a way of lighting up a room. She was always there when you needed her, no matter what. Her loved ones weren't just proud of her talent. They admired her resilience and the way she balanced ambition with kindness. Mia wasn't just a rising star in her field. She was a role model for young women in her community. Her social media presence showcased not only her professional skills, but also her dedication to inspiring others to chase their dreams. But behind the success and the smile was someone with dreams that now will never come to fruition. The question that lingers is this: how does a life filled with so much promise come to such a sudden and violent end? This is the personality she is known for, to her friends, family, and the public. But lurking beneath is another personality altogether that is disturbing, and it might have led to what really happened that night. These theories weren't made to the public by the authorities for reasons best known to them, but they are familiar with all her dealings. Stick with me. Here's a backstory.
Stick with you.
On December 2nd, 2023, Mia made a post on her Facebook page celebrating the anniversary of survival.
Okay.
On December 2nd, 2022, she was attacked while sitting in her car.
Dang.
They shot at the car multiple times, and she was hit in the right ear, which went through her eyes. She lived through it, but the streets were talking. People speculated that her lifestyle may have caught up with her. Just 3 months before she was shot dead, she was arrested for drug trafficking, and she was out on a bond of $40,000, which she posted. Now I'm forced to ask, who was she working for? Now, you would ask why she went through these. What was she really into, apart from being a beautician that everyone knew her to be? To the public, she was just a regular girl trying to make it out. No worries, you will find out why soon. Mia Nixon's death wasn't random. That was one of the first conclusions detectives reached. The evidence, or lack thereof, suggested this was no accident.
Man, get out of
Whoever
here.
pulled the trigger knew exactly what they were doing and vanished without a trace. At the scene, there were no signs of a struggle. No weapon was left behind, no clear fingerprints, no immediate clues pointing to a suspect. Detectives worked around the clock, combing through the area for anything that could explain how a young woman's life was taken so brutally.
Right.
The police turned to those closest to Mia, conducting interviews with anyone who might have seen or heard something. Friends, neighbors, and even passers-by were questioned, but the answers were elusive, and frustration mounted as the case began to grow colder with every passing day. Detectives also issued an appeal to the public, asking for tips that could lead them to the killer.
Right.
They highlighted the importance of community involvement, urging anyone with information, no matter.
They always do that.
Into weeks, no arrests were made, and the trail seemed to grow colder.
All right.
Why would someone target Mia Nixon? Was this a calculated act, or was there something personal at play?
Right.
These are the questions that can.
Hey, bro, if you say that one more time.
Hold on. Before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces.
Provide information that leads to an arrest in this.
Give the impression that she isn't aware of what is going on because she's tipsy. Once at the destination, the individual may create a pretext for not engaging in any physical intimacy, either feigning disinterest or creating a false emergency. This allows them to leave without raising suspicion immediately. However, the target has already been compromised. Their location is known, and their vulnerability has been established. The consequences can range from robbery to violent assault. In some cases, the attackers may arrive while the setup queen is still present, staging a robbery that appears to target both the individual and the setup queen. In the most extreme cases, the target may be seriously injured or even killed. After her demise, there were lots of negative comments on her Facebook page accusing her of being a setup queen, saying she did set up someone recently and that person was the one who reacted in a violent way that night she was shot. On January 10th, the night she was shot, a few minutes earlier, she was on Facebook Live with a dude arguing and exchanging words, using gang-affiliated words like pull up, yada. He was accusing her of setting one of his guys up, which might have led to robbery or even worse.
Okay.
It was about 30 minutes after the Facebook Live argument that she stepped out.
But you know also though, it could be a setup. It could have been whoever he talking about. It could have been a setup for her, for him. But what if she was just out with the guy and just so happened that they spotting lows on niggas and she with him and they got him and it ain't nothing to do with her. It was just
that late night around WAM, probably to check if they actually pulled up on her. And unfortunately, someone was ready waiting for her, and that's when she got shot. The dude she was on Facebook Live with, whose street name was Young Star to Dawn, went back on Facebook Live after hearing what happened to clear his name, saying he didn't know what happened and he didn't have any hand in it. He even accused someone else of the crime.
Oh.
Here is what he said.
Oh my God.
I ain't finna keep playing. Did it, I'd be in jail, stupid. Nobody never said they was in no A, no none of that. I was just on live down here. If I did it, them phones gon' ping. I got 3 phones tell my direct location, where I was, where. Y'all know how the police play. If I somebody, they'll want these phones on all that. Stop playing with me, I ain't no rookie to this. Oh, did, boy. How the girl still outside 45 minutes late, gonna be still sitting outside for front of messages, see what the girl saying, ask me what they doing. Man, somebody called that girl outside. She got all that, put my name in it. Doing all that stupid, talking about a bando in about a project. I would have deactivated all that. That's what I keep playing with. Hey, nothing on no true yet. Talking about the A. Never said we was in Atlanta. They in the A for now. Do you know Youngster the Dunn said y'all did it, boy? Do you know Youngster the Dunn is going around
Birmingham? Should we call that karma? Are all these stories and theories true? On her social media, there are pictures of her holding a gun and also the ones she was flashing some cash.
Right.
She was mostly in a red outfit. Was her death the result of a setup gone wrong, or was it retaliation for past actions?
Maybe.
One thing is certain. Maya's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of living on the edge. Please drop your thoughts, theories, and comments respectfully.
Hey, man. It's up to y'all to feel like how y'all feel about it. She could have been setting niggas up, or I mean, who knows, man? It's hard to say.